Time to preview Warwick Farm for Wednesday. This is the midweek preview. We've lost the rant due to other things happening, and I can inform you that everything is as it was on that front, so no change there. We've got a Warwick Farm meeting that's on a true rail. I think, is it 3 weeks since we've been to Warwick Farm? And so the feed from the last Warwick Farm meeting is the 5 metre position, which is a fair bit different and should be noted. We do have to actually kick off with a very interesting 2-year-old fillies race. It's Gord's just put himself out of the picture there. 6 runners to go round. We've lost number 1, Dame Paddy, who I noticed was out of Alinghi, who hasn't actually thrown much, but was a short price favourite in this race. So I haven't corrected the market. The market was Dame Paddy at $2.80, and membership was second pick at $4.20. Whispered Secret was $5. Debonairly $8, Tiamo $8, Whit Sunday 14, Exit Lounge 31. Did you find this exciting, Gord?
No, not really. As soon as I look at a race and I know that I've got to do every video I can possibly find on every horse.
But there's not that many. Only 2 of them had more than 1 trial.
That's true, but I didn't know the one was scratched, so you can have another 2 videos in there. I think I found something here.
Right.
What's the pace going to look like?
Well, look, you know that Karen will be hiking forward on Debonairly, who sat outside the lead in a slow trial the other day, but wasn't pushed overly to be there, and does wear the blinkers, whereas blinkers weren't worn in the trial. So I'd suggest that she's definitely heading forward. Membership was sprung out of the gates, sprung out of a wide gate to cross over and lead. From gate 1, she doesn't have to be urgent, so that's often a situation where they can hand up, and I imagine that Josh Parr may let the other horse lead him, but that's just a theory, and I would suggest that they're the 2 horses in the van.
Keen on number 4, Membership here. Obviously none of these horses fit my profile, particularly because none of them had, well, now that the 1 scratched, none of them had the 2 trials and none of them had the longer distance trial, so I had to really go and try and find the one that I thought had the best style, and that was number 4, Membership. I liked the fact that it was in front, and when that other horse who was ridden came at it...
Yeah, Whispered Secret, wasn't it?
Yeah, it kicked again. Like, as soon as it saw it, it just thought, no, I'm better than you. And
it did seem to have, good control of that race.
Yeah. And you know, that's a good attitude too, because those 2-year-olds can really turn it up. And for it to see another horse and then go again and win what I consider quite comfortably, even though it's a 743 metre trial mark, I have to have it on top. But obviously with the reductions out, you're probably looking at only about $2.50 or something like that, which isn't a price I would personally entertain.
Yeah, well look, she's had 1 trial at home, and I think she did shape nicely. The point I'll make about this race is that Debonairly went to Warwick Farm to trial, so not only did she have an away trial, but she trialled at the scene of tomorrow's race, not on exactly the same track, but at Warwick Farm itself, as did the Roble horse, Tiamo, who is actually a New Zealand bred, well not New Zealand bred, New Zealand purchased horse, and she's obviously, well he's gone to the trouble of travelling her away to Warwick Farm. We've got B. Baker's horse down the bottom, who's had the 2 trials, and the gap between the 2 trials, then they weren't very good looking. Yep. But they're both away from home. Bowman booked at home on debut.
I don't think we should get too carried away with Bowman bookings tomorrow. Just hangover from Hong Kong, etc., etc.
What is an afterthought?
Oh no! I mean, obviously it shows intent from the trainer, but I'm just saying, you know, I'm never like as much of a fan of Bowman on a Wednesday as I am on a Saturday, and you add in that other little, just riding in, you know, the best races in the world and, you know, flying back here. I do take your point with number 2 there. Blinkers on, stable on fire, best front running jockey going round, Karen McAvoy. There's a few ticks there.
Yeah, and that's the way I've gone to beat Gord's tip Membership. Let's get into the staying race, Gord. There's only 6 runners, but it's on. $3 in favourite, the last start winner, course and distance winner, Grand Allowance. $4 Mr. Steele, $5 Addictocraft, $6 Bella Galliano, and $8 The Way We Are, $18 Centre of Attention. Now, Mr. Steele, with Jimmy Innes, that's what he calls him, isn't it? On board, will be persuaded forward here. Bjorn will be saying to this kid, look, you know, there's only one thing you need to do on the, well, there's only one thing you can do on this horse.
And James Innes Jr. has been doing it very well lately as well.
Yes, so look, Bella Galliano, now that she's up to 2200, can race very handy. The Way We Are would almost like to lead, but because he led at Goulburn with success and then couldn't get to the lead at Newcastle and failed quite dismally. Can happen to those last start Goulburn winners, Gord.
Yes.
Looks all right, Goulburn, and then you take it away and it just doesn't stand up. Addictocraft has got the Dini Panya on board, but should take a sort of a midfield trail on the inside. Look, I like the fact that Mr. Steele has had 4 runs back now, all on a Saturday, and he's found a midweek race where he can lead, and the chases are, well, you know, they are what they are.
What price did you say Mr. Steele is currently?
$4.
Look, you know, I'm not a distance man, although, you know, I have the odd opinion, but clearly I've got to have number 1 on top. It just 2400 metre run last start, fit as a fiddle now, comes out of Saturday grade, led in Saturday grade after being urged along. You know how massive I am for leaders back in grade. Quite like the booking of James Innes Jr. I don't think he can do anything wrong. I like the 2 kilo claim on this particular horse as well, which is not normally something I go for. Yeah, no, number 1 clearly on top for me.
Easy Sell. Their grand allowance, as I mentioned, won course and distance last time. He did race on the 5 metre rail and may have been advantaged and was backing up on that occasion. Addictocraft won a maiden at Hawkesbury that saw the second horse win on Sunday against...
Yeah, I think this horse might have something, but not this preparation. 6 up first prep. Come on.
2200 now and away from home track. Yes, all right. Well, there's really not much to be said about that. The play is number 1 and we'll live or die by him. He, of course, is better on, well, perhaps better on slightly softer ground, but he, as Gord mentioned, is a leader back in grade. Race 3, not a bad 1400 metre 3-year-old maiden, which sees the Cummings trained Peaceful C at $2.60. Oklahoma Girl, sorry, is $4. $5 Krusty. $12 Come On Vogue. $13 Gothberg. $14 Gracious Grey. $15 Never Been Another. And long odds number 2. I imagine, obviously, that Oklahoma Girl will take a prominent position for that rider. Peaceful Sea will be ridden much closer tomorrow, I'm sure. She's gone back to last from 2 outside draws at Canterbury, and from the shoot.
Chris Waller inside draw. He's going to show a little bit more urgency.
Well, except it's Cummings, but Peaceful Sea I'm talking about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Oklahoma Girl.
Yeah. Well, I think Oklahoma Girl is certain to be ridden hard up on the speed. Look, Krusty led in a walking race at Kembla on a recent Sunday program. I'm not sure that he's got that much speed. Come On Vogue has the speed to be there, but the trainer wants it ridden off the speed. And Gracious Grey, your horse from Canterbury last time, Gord, she was ridden forward. I imagine that they may try and ride her more conservatively tomorrow, more in the style of her trial prior to her first up run.
Well, I hope they do that. Look, I mean, you're talking about quite common as in quite a few of these horses come out of the same formula, don't they?
Yeah.
So I wanted to find one of the horses from that particular race at Canterbury, and I wanted to find something else, and maybe back both of them. I'm going to forgive Gracious Grey. Got to check outside the barriers and did sort of show me something between about the 600 and 400. It didn't have to really be pushed along and sort of loomed into it like a horse that first up I can forgive. So I'm going to go off that quite impressive trial and say of those in that particular race at the odds, because this is quite a tricky race, I'd entertain Gracious Grey and the other one that I'll have something on is number 4, Krusty. It's a lightly raced thing, and if I'm gonna find non-Peril later on the program, I suggest maybe I should find Krusty.
Third horse won on Sunday at Hawkesbury.
Yeah, and on top of that, well, won quite impressively too, didn't it? Did sort of have a strange action and go back to the inside there, which I thought was a little bit weird. Yeah, but Krusty stuck on quite well for first up.
Tried 3-year-old, second up, second prep.
Yeah. And to be honest, the way, I mean, it led in the 1300, and I mean, I know Non-Perel got it, but it was still strong through the line, and they put a margin on the others. Well, 1 length on the thing that came at Hawkesbury, and then they gapped the rest. So I'll maybe see a little bit of upside with number 4 Krusty, but they're the two I'm interested in, 4 Krusty and 9 Gracious Grey.
Right, Peaceful Sea is my best of the day tomorrow. She's primed, second up, second prep, and as I say, I expect her to be on speed tomorrow. What else can I say about the race? Well, Never Be Another comes home and has a significant rider change. And Come On Vogue drew inside and raced inside at Hawkesbury, and I just forgive all those horses that draw inside recently at Hawkesbury programs where they're putting 2 inches of water on the track artificially, and the inside is just not the place to be. Your horse Gord, I noticed the rider also lost his irons there for a few hundred metres out of the gate there, so that's to note there. But Peaceful Sea very keen there, race 3. Then we come to the dense race of the day. It's the 3-year-old fillies, 1300 metre race. We've lost the top one, who I thought was a little bit tight in the market. I've not recast this market. She was $6.50 and was probably equal favourite at that price. My True Love, last start Hawkesbury winner at $6.50. $8.50 Could Have Been, who ran 6-4 in this grade first up. $9 Invincible Gem, $9.50 Non-Perel, $10 Foxy Housewife, $10 Bold Carlotta, $12 Hamoon Dream, $13 Sugar Palmer, $18 High Lee, long odds the bottom 2 and 7th Chic. Now, Gaze Runner is not going up in distance, but drawn near the outside, she'll be hiking forward, and I expect that Foxy Housewife will endeavour to take up a position. Fast Ali, drawn the widest, is back from 1550, but really just has to press on. And then you've got a horse like Non-Perel that has the speed at 1300 to take up a just off pace position. Could Have Been certainly won't be that far away, and that's probably it in terms of the speed. Invincible Gem is your horse looking to race on the speed, but perhaps take a trail behind Gaze Runner, My True Love. She was the horse that grabbed my attention in this race, Invincible Gem. If you watch the film of Canterbury, she springs the lids. She springs the lids, and then she is eased to sit outside the lead. Look, they didn't go very hard. Pings lead. See, I stole it from you, didn't I? You're thinking, I've got something to say. I love those horses that ping the lids. This horse is second up in its second prep. Chris Lees didn't bother looking for a provincial maiden kill or a country maiden kill or whatever. Like, he brought her straight to town, which says this horse is on songless preparation, gun to ride, posse's up. There she is. But I mean, she's obviously in a very dense race. Talk me through, Gord, the lead-up race, the race that Hamoon Dream beat, Foxy Housewife beat, Could Have Been beat, Sugar Palmer beat, 7th Chic.
It seemed sort of bunchish finish to me. I was giving it a negative, only because I was forced to have an opinion in this race, which seems such a tricky race. Now, what I want to ask you about is Invisible Gem, because I went looking for it as well. And then I saw that it ran the 1100 in 105.1, and the other 1100 on the day was 103.95.
Yeah, it was a slowly run race. So it was a
And it led, or is that
so
OSL?
it's at our OSL. That's
and,
right.
and they kicked on. Well, it's complimented them as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, it was certainly advantaged by the tempo of the race. It's not about what figures it ran in that race.
It looked stylish to me, and I was very surprised when I had a closer look at the figures. So yeah, no, I
The other 1100 metre race on that day was that
in her time.
Yeah, in her time, smashed the times. Bonnie O'Reilly was a complete moral last Friday. Yeah, look, they ran. So Invincible Gem ran. You've got me saying invisible. Invincible Gem, she ran average times. In her time, ran sensational time on the night.
Okay. Yeah, so I saw that, and then I did notice that Bonnie O'Reilly, very impressive winner again. Thought,
we'll win again.
So can I actually, anyway, I ended up going back to old reliable, which I've been back until the cows come home all the time. That's number 3, Nonpareil.
I think you're still behind.
I am. Yeah, of course I am. Of course I am. Jesus. I mean, as soon as I saw that first upstart where it came third to Sprite and in Times of War, and was actually reasonably unlucky.
Yeah.
I mean, have a look what Sprite's done. Like that is magnificent.
She's been very ordinary.
And then after that, to heavily backed situation in which she sort of half let us down. Finally, last start goes down to Kembla and gets the win. Only one sort of little problem I had with that win, and that is, I thought she should burn Krusty.
That was such a slowly run race. You're not going to put 3 lengths in a horse that's just sitting there doing nothing. And also, she had to draw gate. She drew gate 1, which is not a suitable draw to do that.
No, when she comes off her back at about the 200 metre mark, 300 metre mark. If Nonpareil is as good a horse as I thought it was, it could run sectionals over the last few hundred metres to put Krusty to the sword, even on a slowly run thing. So my ickiness is I have Nonpareil on top. I think now that she's got the win, she can springboard off that. But my problem is that sometimes horses don't really like putting other horses to the sword. And after the placings that she's been providing us with this preparation, I just get that icky feel. But I'm hoping, because of the win last start, that that has been overcome and she's ready to springboard off that and show what I think is her true ability. Mm-hmm. The other one I'm interested in is number 9, Bold Carlotta. I'm interested in the booking of H. Bowman, particularly with Chris Waller being the trainer. It's only had 1 start, won quite comfortably, and if you notice, it's against shit horses. But if you notice, there was a separation of the field, and Bold Carlotta overcome that. And that's a massive thing. Normally, when there's a separation of the field, those horses that are in the second part just have none. Okay, she actually tugged the rest of them up there and went past and won quite impressively. That could be the sign that she's a decent horse. So. 3 Nonpareil and 9 Bold Carlotta, I'll be backing them both.
Any comment on the Gay runner, My True Love, who I thought was very good against Nonpareil, in an awkward position. Nonpareil was just sucking up there. And then she's just gone and done her job at Hawkesbury.
Well, if you notice on Saturday, it was at our anniversary that was heavily
backed. Sunday anniversary.
Yeah,
she split the Canterbury maiden horses, Sweet Chestnut and Magical Lady.
I think that there's some horses in this race that are going to be clearly above that level, so I'm against it.
And could have been good. She was truckloaded here at the last program. Has subsequently gone and had a Saturday run against the males.
I think that was actually a weak Saturday race, so I didn't give it a lot of positive there. Although I love Saturday back to Wednesday. I wouldn't be surprised with nearly any horse in this particular race, but I'm going off the fact that I've decided that the Hamune Dream form is not the form for this particular race, so
and
I have to be against
she did look
that.
common in that race, didn't she? Yeah. So that is a very good betting race, and there are a number of angles in that race. I'd suggest that's the key race on the card, and a race that will provide spirited betting and opportunity. We'll be back after this for the last 3 races from Warwick Farm. They're okay in numbers and just okay in quality.
Beauty. We actually have a model.